Yay Networks.
Welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. Is this supposed to be on? I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans with my husband and my podcast co-host, Alan Evans.
Hey, trained in the house.
Yes. A little technical glitch getting started. I'm sure it was user error on my part.
There was no technical glitch.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
there
confused.
True. You are.
As usual.
Yes.
But speaking of technical glitches, that brings me to what I want to talk about today. But I feel kind of weird just diving right in like that. So why don't we just get past the niceties? How you doing, honey?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Everything's good?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. We didn't record on our usual Thursday, so...
Or Wednesday.
On Wednesday. So we're recording on a Thursday morning, which is a little unusual.
Yeah, it's got a little discombobulation. But I will say, Wednesday this week was April Fool's Day. Not big April Fools celebrators here in this household, not big pranksters, but I will say that our wacky marketing department did something very cute, and I did repost it, the rebranding of our podcast as A Salad and Some Loving, which was pretty cute, complete with merch, which did non-existent merch, but I thought that was pretty cute and harmless, so I did repost that one.
And then everybody is trying to finger me.
No, that was wacky marketing department.
I know that, but all the listeners and our very best customers were trying to finger me.
Well,
and I'm like, it wasn't me.
Were
I
they
didn't
think
do it.
it was cute, or were they upset by it?
They're like, oh, this is something a train would do. I'm like, I
thought it was cute.
nothing to do with it.
Y'all know it's nothing I would do. I am not a prankster. I don't like jokes like that because I don't like the retaliation and always looking over your shoulder to see if someone's coming behind you to retaliate. That's not for me. So I've got April Fool's Day out of the way.
I'm glad it's out of the way because I don't know how to say this. What whips me a little bit about April Fool's Day is like all the corporations and companies are now on the bandwagon.
Right.
So they have to do things
Make
that are
announcements.
Yeah, they got to be kind of safe.
That's what we did with our sandwich and some
Yeah, because
or salad and some
yeah, but we can be a little lewd because companies they've done things in the past that have really caused big problems. Years ago,
that caused the stock market to react.
That caused the stock market to react. Volkswagen did it. Sorry, Volkswagen did it one year. I think Tesla did it one year. They made some fake announcements about bankruptcy and stuff like that, and it really affects the stock price. So once
I don't think our salad and some lemon caused any turmoil on Wall Street.
Nobody cares. But once the companies and corporations got involved, I started to kind of tune out.
I did see the one last night because I really wasn't on social media that much yesterday, but the one on X was the big joke, and everybody was in on it, is that you could no longer copy and share links. That was the big deal.
That was the joke.
That was the joke, and everybody was doing it. That Elon and the something or other, I don't know, you couldn't do links anymore, and so you need to test it by copying this and trying it. I guess people were just trying to get clicks or something. That was the biggest one that I saw. But
I don't spend a lot of time on X.
I check it about once a day just to see if there's anything newsworthy I might have missed, because that feels kind of like real-time updating. It's not my go-to news source, but I do maybe check it once or twice a day.
Yeah, not a lot of time on X, but I have been spending a little time following the Artemis.
That's what I was getting into, referring back to my first potential technical glitch at the beginning of the podcast. I came home last night and Alan said something about, did anybody care that Artemis II launched today?
I did.
You did. But I think, I don't know, are we just jaded as a society? But not a lot of people were as excited about it as perhaps they should have been, Alan.
Let's talk about space for just a second.
It is the final frontier.
Back in let's go back to World War II, just for a little, just high level, quick history lesson.
Okay.
The Russians and the Americans and the British are closing in on Hitler's bunker.
Okay.
World War II is about to end, 1945. And in this bunker, along with Hitler, was this dude named Wernher von Braun. Wernher von Braun was a Nazi. He was also a very, very smart guy. He was a rocket scientist. So Wernher von Braun fled the bunker, and he knew, I'm either going to get captured by the Russians, and they're going to send me to the gulag in Siberia for the rest of my life, or the Americans don't do stuff like that. So I'd rather get captured by the Americans if I'm going to get captured. Long story short, the Americans capture Wernher von Braun and they say, you know what, Werner? All those things you did were very, very bad. And I don't know that we're willing to look past those things, but it would be in your best interest if you would give us all of your rocket secrets.
Okay.
So Wernher von Braun and a lot of the knowledge he had was the catalyst for the Apollo program in the 60s. And the Apollo missions were the ones that first went to the moon, right?
Right.
And Apollo 11 was the first one that the guys landed on the moon.
See, my husband cares about this stuff.
I do. I love space.
So I hope you'll love that. I think, yay, America. Going to space. Yay, America. Plus this Canadian they let tag along.
Good eye, mate.
Let's talk about what happened yesterday. Maybe you missed it somehow, but I didn't watch any of it in real time. But I did go back online and I found a feed where they were giving updates in real time. And so basically the purpose of this is Artemis II. That launched yesterday. Its mission is to test the Orion capsule's life support systems with humans for the first time. Mm-hmm. And they're paving the way for future lunar landings, deep space exploration, and sustainable human presence on the moon and on Mars. So this is just laying the groundwork for Artemis 3 and 4. Okay. So first I learned that, in the big countdown they have for liftoff, did they try to do this about a week ago and it was aborted? Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know, but they did have a delay. They had a slight delay.
So they actually build in delays into the countdown to provide like a buffer to keep them on schedule. They build in a couple, but they allow room for extra holds if they need it. They gives the launch team time to investigate any issues and resume counting if they can fix it in time, right? So they had the first one planned hold was set for the 12-hour, 35-minute mark before fueling. That one lasts for 2 hours, 45 minutes. And then the second planned hold was set for the 40 minutes to launch mark. That way they carve out 30 minutes to go around and they poll each and every person that has something to do with the launch and make sure everybody's a go to proceed. You are going to love Legacy Box. Becoming a parent changes how you look at memories. While we're savoring and saving every moment with our kids, suddenly you start to realize a lot of important memories from our childhood. They're trapped on VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, photo albums, crammed into boxes labeled "Do Not Throw Away" and shoved into an attic. Those are at risk of being destroyed by heat, moisture, disaster, time. And once they're gone, they're gone. That's why you need Legacy Box now. They're the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. And the process is so simple. They send you a Legacy Box and you fill it up with old VHS tapes, pictures, film reels, slides, DVDs, whatever you've got. Their team in Tennessee carefully digitizes it all by hand. They send you back the originals plus digital files on the cloud or a thumb drive. Ordering a Legacy Box is one of the best things I've done for my family because now instead of just telling my kids about that crazy vacation I took to the mountains when I was a kid, I get to show them and relive it with them. And right now, during Legacy Box's Father's Day sale, you can save big while preserving your family's history. Visit legacybox.com/sandwich to get started today. That's legacybox.com/sandwich. It's the little things that make a big difference in how I feel. Now, for me right now, it's about stretching. I didn't realize how stiff I was until I started doing it. I love when I can stretch a little further than before. It makes me feel refreshed when I'm done. And a little makeup refresh can make all the difference too with Thrive Cosmetics, my go-to clean makeup routine year-round. Now, of course, their brilliant eye brightener and Stella champagne is always in my makeup bag. Actually, I need to reorder more. I'm almost out. But it comes in 32 shades, and the Shenna Mint Green Shimmer looks really fun for summer. Their
Power Matte Precision Lipstick Crayon. It's really amazing. It gives you a beautiful color that lasts without feeling dry. They have 18 buildable shades, and I love the Dusty Rose Kaisa color. I think that's how you pronounce it. But the best part, for every product you buy, Thrive donates products and funds to help communities thrive. So far, they've given over $150 million in products and cash to over 600 giving partners. This is beauty with purpose. Amplify your summer look with Thrive Cosmetics. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/sandwich for an exclusive 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/sandwich. I don't think I've ever talked about it on this podcast before, but one day I was walking past the windows going upstairs and I noticed this greasy cooking smell. You know what I mean? It turns out it was our blinds. Something about the sun was breaking them down over the years. And who knows how long they were there before we bought our house. We needed new blinds bad, and that's what led me to 3-Day Blinds. I absolutely loved how easy they made the whole process. They send a professionally trained design consultant to your home. It's a free, no obligation, same-day quote. And they've got thousands of options to fit any budget and style. It's not just blinds. They've got shades, shutters, drapery too. 3-Day Blinds even has those motorized smart blinds that work with Alexa. Those are so cool. They take all the measurements. They handle the installation too. And it's perfect because I'm not handy. And what a difference it's made. This is an upgrade that makes your whole house feel refreshed and polished without having to do a big renovation. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the 3 dayblinds.com/sandwich. Right? So that's when they make the last minute decision to we're going to scratch this thing or not.
Mm-hmm.
So the first unplanned hold happened, the unplanned. Now those are the two planned ones. They did have an unplanned hold that happened a couple of hours before liftoff on Wednesday, April Fool's Day. Why would they plan it for April Fool's Day? Why do they plan anything on April Fool's Day? But anyway, that's where there was an unspecified issue with the rocket's flight termination system. This would send a self-destruct signal to the rocket in case it veered off course and was heading for a populated area.
Oh, God.
So that means those astronauts 4 on board were like, we're heading for Boise, Idaho. We got to self-destruct here.
Boise, Idaho.
I'm just saying, if they're veering off course.
How about
anywhere.
New York City?
If they're heading for New York City. If they're heading for Spain. If they're heading anywhere that's, I don't know where the course, but if they were heading off course, there would be a button, self-destruct. We're taking out 4 instead of untold masses, right?
So the proverbial panic button.
Right. So this, got a problem with this little switch here. Took them about 15 minutes to announce the problem was fixed. I'm sorry. I need you to do a little bit more of a thorough investigation for the self-destruct switch than 15 minutes.
If I'm sitting on the top of a rocket and they tell me there's something wrong with the self-destruct switch and they say, we got it fixed.
In 15 minutes.
I'm saying, let me out. Let me off of this thing. Out. Get the seatbelt off of me. Get this big glass thing off my head. I want to be back down there in Florida.
No self-destruct switch anywhere near me. And then with 52 minutes remaining in the countdown, one of 2 batteries in the abort system wasn't displaying the proper temperature. They figured that one out and fixed it in about 20 minutes. So at 5, I'm going to do these in Central Times because I think the majority of our podcast audience is Central Time. So we're going to do Central Time. So 5:25 p.m. Central. After the planned hold to check with the whole team, Commander Reed Weissman said Artemis II crew is go for launch, full set. 10 minutes later at 5:35 p.m. Central, it was liftoff. Everybody saying, let's go to the moon.
Can you imagine being on the top of that thing?
No.
And just the sheer power as you're exiting the atmosphere with all of that beneath you. I can't, it boggles my mind. I can't imagine doing this.
Well, it's the first trip to the moon in 53 years. The Artemis II set sail from the same Florida launch site that sent Apollo's explorers up to the moon 53 years ago. We've got Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Canada's Jeremy Hansen. So we let the Canadian, come on, Canada. They're going to hurtle several thousand miles beyond the moon, hang a U-turn, and then come straight back. That's the mission.
Unbelievable.
No circling around the moon, no stopping for a moonwalk, a quick out and back that lasts less than 10 days. This is going to be followed by the Artemis II. That one's going to focus on launching a lunar lander into orbit around Earth in 2027 for docking practice by astronauts flying in the Orion capsule. And then Artemis IV aims to actually land astronauts on the moon in 2028. So this is one of 3 steps. So this program is expected to cost $20 billion over the next 7 years. So yesterday, about 12 minutes after liftoff, 5:47 p.m., they reached orbit. Took 12 minutes to make it. They'll circle the Earth for about 25 hours and then catapult toward the moon, but not landing on it, right? So an hour into the flight, the upper stage boosted the Orion capsule integrity and its crew into the higher orbit around the Earth. And then about 10 minutes later, they had their first hiccup. You want to know what it was?
I do.
Well, no.
Oh.
Mission Control's communication link. This was actually, I was thinking the second hiccup. This is the first hiccup. They had a little communication link problem that cut out, but they quickly resolved that. But here's the big hiccup that I wanted to talk about. About 20 minutes later, 7:19 p.m., the female astronaut, you knew it had to be the woman, Christina Koch, she reported the toilet shut down.
She had a headache.
No, she reported the toilet shut down. She was the first one, I guess, that had to pee.
Okay.
You know, that's just the way it is. Who always says you need to go every chance you get? Well, Christina's like, this is my first chance to get up after we're in space and we're orbiting now. I'm going to go potty. So she reported to Mission Control, the toilet shut down on its own and I have a blinking amber fault light. Now, I'm wondering if that happened before or after she used the facility.
Tell you what, if we had warning lights on the commodes around here, they would always be blinking amber.
But Mission Control advised her to use the handheld bag and funnel system.
The bag and funnel system.
Yes. Where they have these for when you like travel in your car, I've learned, where you like put women can hold the funnel to themselves and then the tube goes out and has the urine exit somewhere else. But it's also known as the bag and funnel system is called a CCU, collapsible contingency urinal.
What is
I don't know
in space?
I don't know if
have an acronym.
I don't know if they have a CCP for collapsible contingency pooper, but this is just for the urinal.
It would be a CCS, wouldn't it?
Well, or a P for pooping. Anyway, they said use that until we can figure out how to fix the toilet. Now, that's located on the floor of the capsule. They have a door and a curtain for privacy. And an upgraded version, they say, of an experimental toilet that launched on the International Space Station in 2020. But that station's currently out of order. They've got 2 others that are working fine. All right, so moving on. Now that we know that Christina's the one that maybe broke the toilet 20 minutes in. So shortly after they started orbiting, they had a planned rest session with plans to wake up at 6 a.m. this morning. They were going to conduct a little maneuver and then go back to sleep at 8:40 Central. That's the plan. They have a set schedule for sleep and rest. And then they would go back to sleep at 8:40. They're waking up again at noon, which they haven't, at the time of this recording, we haven't hit noon Central yet. So we don't know what they're going to do after that. But this morning they said they had a little chit chat while they had their maneuvers. It's a little too cold. I wonder who was complaining that it was too cold.
Because to them, there's no day and night, right?
Well, I guess they know based on what time it is, but in space, they can't.
Just their local time.
Right. So it was too cold. The wind was blasting a little too hard, and it was a little too chilly.
That would be you.
That would be me.
That would be you in space.
Optimal airflow and optimal temperature. Alan likes, as we have talked about with the controls on the car, he just wants it to be what's your optimal temperature while driving? 73?
68, 69.
No, it's usually a little higher than that.
69 right now.
69. So he doesn't care how you get to 69, whether it's
No, I don't.
like
It's
the blasting
no, I don't
air
care
at
at all.
full force.
I don't care at all.
But you get to that level and it stays there. For me,
Just as long as you get there.
I prefer low airflow. I don't want the air. I like it on my face, but not too hard that it dries my eyeballs out. So I want it to be low and slow. So they were having a problem on the Artemis II that it was blasting too cold and too hard.
Can you imagine Kelly Raspberry Evans in a cosmonaut suit with her head in this glass bubble, and she's starting to get a little uncomfortable?
I have to pee in the toilet. It's not
and
working.
she looks over at the other three
and
cosmonauts.
it's too cold.
It's like, hey, does anybody know how to adjust these vents? I'd like a little more flow coming my way. Well, cosmonaut Raspberry Evans, we have the capsule here set to 69 degrees. Well, I just want it blowing less. I know it's 69 in here, but I just want it blowing less.
It's too hard.
And you're up there twisting and tweaking and then all of a sudden the warning lights go off and then you're off course. And can you imagine if you were up there in that thing?
I cannot. That's why I will not go. I don't go for my country.
The other cosmonauts would be looking at you just shaking their heads.
Well, Mission Control bumped the airflow down another 1,000 RPMs. And I guess that's going to have to do. Everybody go back to bed now. Commander Wiseman also reported an issue with the gain. You might know what this means. The gain on the GoPro cameras.
Okay.
And that was preventing them from getting a really great picture of the Orion. They said it was on the GoPro cameras and their iPhones. So what's the gain on a GoPro camera and an iPhone?
Like the distortion or something?
Well, it was preventing them from getting really great pictures of the moon from Earth.
Gain on an amplifier is the distortion. So I don't know.
Mission Control advised they will get back to them with a solution. So tonight, from what I understand, they're going to fire up Orion's main engine to escape Earth's gravity and then head to the moon 248,000 miles away.
Wow.
And that's the last update I have.
Doesn't it take them like 6 days or something?
Well, they're going to be up there for 10. And then they're supposed to land back. I forgot where they're supposed to land. Some water somewhere.
They're going to land in the Pacific Ocean, Beth.
Yeah. Now, I did get a few more little details. As far as modern space food, wasn't it fun when you were kids to get we knew they drank Tang in space, and then you do the freeze-dried space food. Well, they still have to do freeze-dried space food. They had to add water, and they use a food warmer to heat things up because they don't have, refrigeration or anything. But they say they do have better tasting and more nutritious space meals. They have mac and cheese, tortillas, and vegetable quiche. Drinks include coffee, green tea, and lemonade, among other beverage choices. Good. Yeah. They do have a medical kit on board containing basic first aid items, common medications like antibiotics, and medical devices like a blood pressure monitor and a thermometer. But they can also have private medical consultations with flight surgeons should the need arise. I mean, you're up there 10 days. You have an emergency situation. Somebody's got to saw off a leg or a pinky or something. You got to know how to handle business. And let's see. Now, ahead of quarantine, ahead of launch, they had to quarantine, for a while to, make sure they were, not going to fall ill. To prevent bone and muscle loss in space, how much can you lose in 10 days?
A lot. They have to exercise 30 minutes a day.
Yes.
So their muscles don't atrophy.
They're going to keep in shape using a device that acts sort of like a yo-yo. Exercises such as rowing, squats, and deadlifts. And they do spend, like Alan said, about a half hour a day exercising on this device, which was actually developed by the Canadian Space Agency. I didn't know Canada had a space agency. I thought that's why we just got a Canadian that really wanted to go in space. So I don't know. I guess that Canadian came from there.
I didn't realize it either.
Yeah. We got a Canadian astronaut.
I thought they just had the Mounties.
Right. But prior to Artemis, going back to the Apollo mission, they did not have bathrooms. So astronauts used bags and diapers.
Mm-hmm. I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The primitive potty was aboard the Skylab in the 1970s.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But now the International Space Station features 3 bathrooms, which we just mentioned 2 earlier. So that was pretty interesting. Let's see. Now the system they have collects urine and solid waste separately. Number 1 is vented into space, and number 2's, I guess they didn't want to put that out in space, so they stow it until they come back to Earth, and then they get rid of it.
What's the big deal with shooting it out in space?
That's what they said. Number 1 goes into space. Number 2, they bring it back home.
What? I don't understand.
Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting, but I don't understand the
logic. Well, I guess it's just mentally upsetting to think there's poop floating.
It's just going to freeze and float around for all eternity.
It's still pollution.
Yeah.
But so is pee.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe that vaporizes.
On day 6, Orion will reach its farthermost point from Earth as it sails 4,000 miles beyond the moon. That surpasses Apollo 13's distance record, which was nearly, let's see, this is all confusing. I don't care about that.
Okay.
But yeah, they're going to land in the Pacific Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back, Navy recovery ships will be stationed off the coast of San Diego as it parachutes into the ocean on day 10.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff there, babe.
There you go.
Wow.
I hope you did like that.
There you go, Artemis.
You should care more.
You can't scroll your phone for more than 30 seconds without seeing somebody talking about GLP-1s. Maybe you've been close to trying them, but you're not a needle person, or maybe you're looking for a natural alternative. Well, let me introduce you to our podcast sponsor, Veracity. Their Metabolism Ignite, it's a natural plant-based GLP-1 alternative that is doctor recommended and clinically proven to help reduce hunger. Just 2 capsules with breakfast every morning. It's all you need. And one of the first things I noticed was I wasn't thinking about food all day. That food noise you always are constantly battling. Metabolism Ignite has no allergens, no caffeine, no negative side effects, and we love that. It's shown to reduce hunger by 85% and clinically proven to help lose an average of 9 pounds in 90 days. We really love that. Look, this stuff is sold out 10 times for a reason. So before it sells out again, make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityhealth.co and use sandwich for up to 65% off your order. Once again, that's VERACITY health.co for up to 65% off. Make sure you use our promo code SANDWICH so they know we sent you. Now that I've reached a certain age, I realize how much my sleep affects me and everybody around me. It affects my energy, my mood, my patience. And I've also learned that I don't need to waste a lot on fancy sleep gadgets because one of the best things I've done is upgrade to Boll and Branch sheets. I noticed the difference from night 1. They are incredibly soft, so breathable. It's because Boll and Branch's sheets are made with 100% organic cotton that's woven specifically for airflow. Now I don't wake up feeling hot with sheets sticking to my legs anymore. My sheets keep me cool and comfortable all night long. And they've actually gotten softer with every wash. They even did a survey of their customers. 94% of them said the same thing. I love my Boll and Branch sheets, and honestly, I can't imagine ever going back to any other bedding. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll and Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/sandwich with code SANDWICH. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/sandwich. Code SANDWICH to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/sandwich, code SANDWICH. Exclusions apply. I think everybody's had that moment where they say, I should start my own business. Now, maybe you've got an amazing hot sauce recipe, or you've gotten really great at making candles or jewelry, and all your friends keep telling you you should sell that stuff. Well, what's stopping you? If you've been sitting on a business idea, Shopify makes it easy to make it happen. Everything you need to start selling is included and ready from day 1. When your first customer is ready to buy, Shopify Checkout helps more people actually complete the purchase. And when they come back, their information's already saved. So checkout is quick and easy. One tap and they're done. Shopify handles all the technical stuff too, the setup and checkout, so you can spend your time growing your business and doing what you actually love. It's no wonder Shopify powers millions of businesses around the world, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to small businesses just getting started like yours. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business, so go make it one. Start your free trial at shopify.com/sandwich. That's shopify.com/sandwich. One more time, shopify.com/sandwich.
No, I mean, I've always been I don't know that I'm really into it, but I've always been a casual, interested observer about things that are space. I think it's interesting.
There's
I'm kind of a
great movies about it.
nerd when it comes to space.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to get philosophical about it, I think the reason it used to be a bigger deal was because, for a couple of reasons. This is my opinion. It had never been done. Like, we had never gone into space and had people around the moon or on the moon. It had never been done. And then once it was done, even back then, people started to lose interest.
Right.
So you've got...
And there's still people that believe it never happened. There was somebody...
Oh, I know. There's a lot
There's
of
somebody that came out and said, yes, I was there. I helped build the fake stage for the moon landing walk, that it was a completely fake stage. There are people that adamantly believe we've never set foot on the moon.
There were almost 500,000 people that worked on the Apollo project. So you couldn't have 500,000 people work on a project like that and not have a number of whistleblowers come out and say, this was fake,
but they have had a couple that came out and said it was fake.
You can also look at the moon and see the equipment that's still there.
You can?
Yeah. We also left things to radio back to Earth. They left things on the moon.
But the equipment landed there, but we had to leave it there, or
Yeah, there's still junk up there.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of it's just weird. Some of the stuff they point out, it's like, yeah.
It is weird.
It does look fake.
Well, when you think about it, like, I've thought about this too. We went in the 60s. None of that stuff was designed by a computer. It was all the rockets, the calculations, the navigation. It was all done using math, like long math. They figured all this out.
Well, we watched that movie about the women mathematicians.
Yeah. There was enough.
Really
your key fob in your car has more computing power than the Apollo had in the LEM. I mean, it's like they had a computer for navigation, but it would just do very simple calculations. But all the heavy lifting and all the work that was done to get those rockets up there, that was all done by human brains. And that's what just boggles my mind, Yeah. Not that what they're doing now is easy, but all the Artemis and all this projects for years have been developed with the aid of, computers and AI and simulations and all of that. So I don't know. I think it's a great accomplishment. I think it's really fun and cool to follow. I even downloaded the NASA app, and it's free, and you can see real time, like, where they are.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you can see where they are, where they're the path they're going on, kind of what's going on.
Do you remember that, like, convertible they launched into space, and it was just like orbiting around? Is that still up there?
A convertible?
Yeah, they had like some convertible spaceship or something, like Elon or somebody put it up there, and it was just circling. Yeah,
I don't know about that.
I'll have to go back. I hope I didn't dream that, and I just said something really stupid.
Think we'll ever go to Uranus?
I don't know why we would. What's there?
On Uranus?
Yeah, what's there? Has there been signs of life or water?
It's a long way away. Uranus is.
Do you think we ever need to have the ability to live on another planet? I don't know.
Wow.
Not in my lifetime, at least.
We're getting super philosophical now.
I'm just wondering, is there a need for it? I mean, I guess you have to have some contingency backup plan.
I guess you do, babe. But my I don't know, my little feeble brain thinks the time and energy and the risk and the danger to try to send people to the moon is one thing, but then you're talking about trying to send them to another planet. That's even harder to do. Why don't we just take care of the one we have? Like, can we just take care of the one we have?
Look at that. Earth Day is coming up.
Yeah,
April 22nd.
I'm not out there hugging redwoods, but I mean,
maybe you should.
Let's just take care of the one we have.
Maybe you should hug a redwood.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a little bit more.
On this podcast, we've mentioned Uranus, Tang, 69, and Redwood.
What is the connection?
I don't know.
Why did you single those four things?
I don't know. Anyway, are we done with space?
Well, yeah, that was a lot of space talk.
That was a lot of space talk.
But I thought some of it was interesting.
That was a lot of space
Not
talk.
all of it, but I did think some of it was.
One of our live studio audience members,
which one?
They just rang in on our technology here where they can push a button and send us a message. and they said that Elon Musk sent a Tesla Roadster into orbit in 2018.
Right. Is it still up there?
It must be.
Just circling.
Yeah.
Right? I remembered that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it must be.
Is a Roadster a convertible?
It is.
See? Okay. Because I remember seeing it. Like I remember seeing and it could have been fake what I was seeing, but now I'm glad to know that it wasn't fake.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Good.
Just real quick, a couple of random things. I went over to do a check on my mom and dad the other day.
A welfare check, as you call them.
As I do. I just go check in on them. You know, my mom and dad they're a little older, and they're fine. They're great. They do great. They still get around wonderful. They travel. They do all kinds of stuff.
I call mine Mondays with Mama. You call yours welfare checks on your parents.
Right. So another thing that's in it for me when I go over there is my mom usually makes me lunch, which is awesome.
And sometimes she sends something for me.
Yeah, sometimes she sends something back. So if you've listened to the podcast for a long time, you'll remember I had a BOTA match with a Starbucks barista one time.
Right.
I ordered a tall coffee with room. They slid me a cup. I drank it. It was tea. I said, "Excuse me, this is tea." And the barista said, "No, it's not. It's coffee." And I said, "No, it's tea." And the barista said, "I made it. It's coffee." I said, "I tasted it. It's tea." And then they said, "Well, then I'll just remake it." And I said, "Please do." And then they gave me my coffee.
And it was coffee the second time.
It was coffee the second time. Okay, so that was one of the first I think I've explained on the podcast BOTA matches.
Right. It's very well documented.
Right. So now it's just kind of a joke, right? The tea, coffee, tea thing. So I went over to my mom's, and my mom makes curry chicken, but it's not like, I don't know. It's not like an Indian curry. It's her own spin on curry chicken. I mean, my mom's Filipino, so she's always adding stuff and just making stuff up on the fly as she goes, you know? And it's one of my favorite things in the world. She made curry chicken and maybe white rice and then with vegetables. It's one of my favorite things.
Yum, yum.
Yum, yum. So I went over there. She goes, "Hey, I made some curry. Do you want some curry chicken?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So she brings me my little TV tray like she does with my soft drink on there, you know, and me and my dad are shooting the bull or whatever. And we're in the living room. And I'm just talking to my parents, and I start eating the curry chicken and it sets my mouth on fire. I'm like, "Mom, it was good." I mean, I said, "Mom, this is really good. But what have you changed?" I said, because I've been eating this since I was a kid.
Right.
I know how she does it. I said, "Mom, this is really, really spicy. What did you change? Why is it so spicy?" She goes, "It's not spicy." So now I'm not in a BOTA match with my mother, but I'm looking at my mom like,
is it like
it's spicy?
Is it like with the Jedi where they're like,
yes,
these are not the whatever you're looking for.
These are not the droids you're looking for. No, I was like, "Wow, this is really spicy." She goes, "No, it's not. That's not spicy." And I said, "I just took a bite out of it. It's really spicy, Mom." She's like, "It's not spicy." And I said, "Well, I think I'm not trying to, I mean, this is my mom, so I'm not going to like, you know,
defy her.
I'm not going to defy my mother. I'm just like, well, I feel like something has changed with the recipe. It's really good. Don't get me wrong. It's really
Can
good.
I have some milk?
Yes. I said,
or a piece of white bread, something.
I need another Dr. Pepper. This is really spicy. And she ended up saying something like, "You know, your mother has very gentle cooking feelings." And I said, "I understand. I understand." I said, I totally understand, because when I cook for somebody and I don't do it right, and then they say something like, "Wow, this is different." Right. Then you're like, well,
offended.
What did I do wrong?
You're offended.
Right.
So you were offending your mother is what she's saying.
I guess I was.
Did you ever ask her to taste it so she could see what you were talking about?
I don't think she did.
Did your dad volunteer any information?
So off the record, later, a couple of days later, I saw my dad and he said, "You know, I had your mom fix me up a bowl of that curry chicken with the rice, and I put some of that curry flavoring on the rice and just had that." He said, "That was spicy." And I said, "Yeah, Dad, it was. It was pretty spicy, wasn't it?" And I said, "You know, I hope I didn't hurt Mom's feelings, because
You're never getting curry again.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be a coffee, tea, coffee situation, but that's kind of how it was. This is spicy. No, it's not.
So there's no resolution whatsoever.
No, I just ate it. The whole thing. And then I felt so bad. I said, can I have another, please?
Just wiping the sweat.
I just had two helpings of it. I'm over there. I'm sweating.
But
Yeah.
you know what you've made me want now?
What's that?
Curry.
Yeah, that's good.
I want some curry now. Maybe not that batch. I like spicy, but come on.
All right, babe. Well, anyway, you got anything else?
No, got to just go get, we've got Easter festivities coming up this weekend. Happy Easter to everyone celebrating. Our son Dylan has made sure that his dad and I know that if we have any pull at all with the Easter Bunny, what he would like to receive in his Easter basket. He was very, we want to make sure he was still getting one.
Yeah.
Right. That was number one on the list. Is the Easter Bunny still coming? Absolutely. And if you have any way of letting the Easter Bunny know, I really want Peeps. Big fan of Peeps. There was that. And then these Meebo? What are those little squeezy?
Nee-Doh.
Nee-Doh.
Nee-Dohs.
These little Nee-Doh stress squeezy cubes.
Can't find them anywhere.
That are apparently, for some reason, there must be somebody on TikTok or somebody on Instagram that has played with these things, and now every child wants one, and you can't find them anywhere. They get like these little tiny gift shops. They'll send out an email. Hey, we're getting a shipment of these Nee-Dohs in, and maybe you'll get 10, and there will be a line of 200 people out the door.
Yeah.
Hoping to get one of these 10 little cubes of jelly. Now, a place like Target, my daughter and my mother happened to be at Target when they just got a shipment that arrived. And my daughter said there was this one woman that had an armful of them, and she swore that the Easter Bunny was giving them to, everybody. And then you go on eBay and people are trying to resell them for like $50 and $60.
I think it's the retail price is $6.
$5 or $6. That's it. So anyway, Dylan is hopeful that the Easter Bunny pulls the magic out of his hat.
Yes.
With one of those. So that's that. And then also I, a few years ago, I put myself in charge of an Easter egg hunt for all the kids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so that's become a huge player and very much expected.
They love it.
So not only am I responsible for stuffing a lot of Easter eggs, I then started adding, for the children as they got older, cash prizes.
Yes.
And those are very big players. So today for Thursday with Mama, I'm going to be going around and getting all the accoutrements for the annual Easter egg hunt. That includes a trip to the bank.
Cash money, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does like that. I also told him about Peep Wars. Have you ever heard of a Peep War?
What's a Peep War?
We used to do this at work. You set up 2 peeps in the microwave, and you stick a toothpick in each peep like they're swords, and then you put the 2 peeps close to one another, and then you bet on which peep is going to stab the other peep first. And so you hit cook on the microwave, and then the peeps start to kind of deform a little bit, and then they kind of go at each other with the sword.
So I have a feeling we're going to be doing that on Easter Sunday.
Good, but whoever's peep is standing or stabs the other peep first, that's the winner.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
Peep Wars. Yeah, you can look it up. It's a thing. Peep Wars. We used to do this at work, getting paid on the clock to do Peep Wars.
I'm sure the boss loved that, but it was good for morale, right? Team building.
It was on lunch hour.
I'm sure it was. Lots of team building going on around the company microwave.
That's right.
And I bet there's nothing quite like the smell of burnt peeps.
Yeah, that's not so great, especially when they start to get black.
Yeah.
Like a burned marshmallow.
Anyway, happy Easter to everyone. I hope you have beautiful weather, beautiful day. Man, when I was growing up, it was such a big deal because that, things are different now, but you'd get like one new Sunday dress. That was your Easter dress. That was your new Sunday dress for the year. And you get the matching shoes. If you're a little girl, you get the matching purse. I remember I would get my nail polish to match what my outfit was going to be. It was such a big deal. And now I don't know, I don't know if they still put that kind of, it was exciting to get your new Easter dress. That was a big, big deal. We'd go shopping for weeks ahead of time. But I think some of that's kind of gone.
Well, I guess it depends on your church and where you are.
I'm thinking as a society as a whole, it's not that big of a deal to get that Easter outfit that it used to be. I don't know. Maybe it is for some people.
Yeah, I don't know, babe. I mean, I always try to put a little effort into it. I mean, it is.
Yeah, you want to get dressed up, but I'm talking about a whole new outfit.
Yeah.
The whole new thing.
Yeah.
Not doing that this year.
All right, babe. Got anything else?
No.
Well, we were all over the place, man. Artemis, Uranus, Easter, curry chicken.
Yeah.
This was a good one. Next time, I think we have some letters. They've been kind of queuing up, and we haven't got letters in a while.
Well, if you'd like to get a last-minute submission in before the next podcast, you can go to podcast@kellyandallen.com.
Yes.
To submit your email. If you have a question about anything, something you'd like us to talk about on the podcast, love to hear from you.
Hey, and just real quick, talking about social media, because we always pitch the social media. Go to Kelly's social media or mine. Kelly's at Kelly Raspberry. I'm at the Alonzo 1971. But Kelly got her new, and our friend Sarah, they got their new Can-Am Rikers the other day.
Yes.
And if you want to see some hilarity, I wanted them, after they picked up their vehicles, I was playing photographer that day. I said, hey, gals, I bet you I can get a really cool photo of y'all in front of the dealership, like doing the jumping up in the air for joy, and snap that photo of you two in front of your new Can-Ams. And then that's when hilarity ensued.
Y'all, have you ever tried jumping up in the air and having someone take your picture at that moment where you're at the highest you can go and you feel like you're getting so much air and you're barely getting 2 inches off the ground. And I'm going to tell you, I'm almost 60 years old. Coming down on that pavement, my entire body jarred. It was just a jarring effect. We did that about 15 times, those jumps.
I had him do it over and over because Kelly was pretty solid. She did pretty good.
I did pretty good. And, I knew to make your arms up in a V. I knew to bend your knees and pick your heels up as high as you can, because that gives the illusion that you're getting height.
But our friend Sarah, and we love Sarah to death.
Love Sarah.
Nothing I'm saying right now is something I told Sarah I was going to talk about this.
Sarah's one of our country's finest, a woman in blue.
Yes, she is. And she's wonderful. We love Sarah. So I'm just teasing Sarah.
Sarah laughed. Sarah was
laughing harder at this than anybody. But Sarah had, I would say, 50-pound cinder blocks on each shoe. Sarah was getting about 2 inches up in the air. So,
just a little less than I was getting.
Yeah. So I'm like, Sarah, maybe you can kind of gear up with your arms and then jump with your arms and then put your arms up in the air, because she was doing the arms to the side, kind of the bunny hop. And then from there, she graduated to the bunny hop, but then her arms were in front of her face.
Just flailing.
And then she was kind of getting more confidence, and then she got her arms into it, and then she would get her arms up in the air, but I still think she didn't feel super comfortable because she was only getting about like 2 inches up in the air. And then finally they both synced up, and we got one shot where they looked like they were both flying.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying to be flying.
But anyway, long story.
Go look at the video.
Go look at the video. It's pretty fun.
Cute.
It's pretty funny.
I'm at Kelly Raspberry. Allen's at the Alonzo 1971.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll follow us there. And a Sandwich and Some Lovin's got an Instagram too. If you were following, you would have seen that cute little April Fool's meme. That was cute. Thank you, art department, wacky department, for doing that.
Wacky art department.
I don't know what it is.
The wacky art department.
Wackety marketing.
Wackety marketing.
Yes.
There we go. We got two new words for the wacky marketing department: the wacky art department and the wackety marketing department. All right, I like it. Well, I love you desperately.
Love you.
I love our listeners desperately.
Love y'all.
I love Artemis and those 4 astronauts desperately. They are pushing out into places we have never been before. One of these days, we're going to go to Uranus.
If we're lucky.
And I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.